Hello and welcome to our thought for the day on Tuesday the 11th of October. Today I'm going to read Psalm 73 from the NIV Bible. It is attributed to Asaph, a leader of the temple choir. With three distinct stages, you'll see he moves from grief and temptation to gaining strength and victory, and finally realising the reward of God's glory. So I'll pause at each stage. Surely God is good to Israel, to those who are pure in heart. But as for me, my feet had almost slipped, and I had nearly lost my foothold. For I envied the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. They have no struggles. Their bodies are healthy and strong. They are free from common human burdens. They are not plagued by human ills. Therefore pride is their necklace. They clothe themselves with violence. From their callous hearts comes iniquity. Their evil imaginations have no limits. They scoff and speak with malice. With arrogance they threaten oppression. Their mouths lay claim to heaven, but their tongues take possession of the earth. Therefore their people turn to them and drink up waters in abundance. They say, how would God know? Does the Most High know anything? This is what the wicked are like, always free of care. They go on amassing wealth. Surely in vain I have kept my heart pure and have washed my hands in innocence. All day long I have been afflicted, and every morning brings new punishments. If I had spoken out like that, I would have betrayed your children. The psalm continues. When I tried to understand all this, it troubled me deeply, till I entered the sanctuary of God. Then I understood their final destiny. Surely you placed them on slippery ground. You cast them down to ruin. How suddenly they are destroyed, completely swept away by terrors. They are like a dream when one awakes. When you arise, Lord, you will despise them as fantasies. And finally, when my heart was grieved and my spirit embittered, I was senseless and ignorant. I was a brute beast before you. Yet I am always with you. You hold my right hand. You guide me with your counsel. And afterwards you will take me into glory. Whom I have in heaven but you. And earth was nothing I desire besides you. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. Those who are far from you will perish. You destroy all who are unfaithful to you. But as for me, it is good to be near God. I have made the sovereign Lord my refuge. I will tell of all your deeds. I read that some writers are hesitant about the description of this as a wisdom psalm because of its strongly personal tone. However, I chose the psalm today, very unlike me, as a relative non-literist, usually confused by flowery language. But it struck me as really real. Clearly the psalmist, perhaps Asaph, was having a bad day. We can relate to that. How often do we hear, why do the good people suffer? It's not fair. This psalm reflects on the tragedy of the wicked and the blessedness of trust in God. Asaph bemoans that the godless had plenty of money and possessions, but God did not seem to punish them. He was angry, jealous, and almost stopped loving and obeying God. he said his feet nearly slipped and he almost fell over. But nearly and almost. God did not let him fall. So God's people, wanting this too, drank and did everything that the godless people do. They were saying God won't know what they have done, that they can wash their hands of it. That is tempting. Do it anyway and be forgiven later. We still see this as a struggle today. However, we then see a turnaround for Asaph. He went into the house of God. Maybe this was the temple in Jerusalem, but he sought out time with God, God's presence and counsel. He found a peaceful place of prayer, or perhaps for us that can be a metaphorical temple of quiet time spent with God. There he realises the transience of material wealth. 1 minute it would be there and the next minute not. It would be like a dream. He berated himself, even calling himself a brute beast, as he sought forgiveness, and his words turned to praise, reminded of God's presence, God's refuge, and eternal glory with him. Better than short-term wealth. Finally, he had worked it through, as we all need to do sometimes. Convinced, he vows to tell everyone. Perhaps we too need to help others to move from despair to hope, eternal hope. So that final verse again. But as for me, it is good to be near God. I have made the sovereign Lord my refuge. I will tell of all your deeds. Thank you for listening. Have a blessed day.